Yes, mambo vipi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome so much to Mkenya Marekani. Yeah, today we are talking about the Navy. Yeah, just last week we had a couple of series from the Navy as well. And by the way, we are so fortunate to have another sister of Ruth Ndichu. Yes, so I'm telling you, we are blessed indeed. So don't go nowhere, please. If you're new here, consider subscribing. This is a platform based in Seattle, Washington. We bring a lot of Kenyans here in the US and other parts of the world to just let you some of their stories, winning stories, and also tell you some of the opportunities that out here. So basically, this is a great motivation. If you wanted ever to join the Navy, this is your platform. So karibu sana, and without any further ado, I'll invite our guest now. But before that, make sure you subscribe. Yes, hi. Mambo vipi?
Poa sana mambo.
Yeah, poa sana. I hope you've not forgotten all your Swahili.
Hapana, mimi hata Kikuyu naongea.
Okay.
Zote.
I
Eh,
hear some resemblance in your voice with your C's, kabisa.
yeah, many people that say that we are twins. Many people say that they can't get the difference between us. I don't know for some reasons. Na lakini ni juu tumeachana na miaka kidogo sana.
Oh,
So
okay.
we look like twins, yeah.
Yeah, usitaje miaka.
Mimi siogopi kutaja miaka, mimi sio mzee, na hata nikizeeka nitaji accept tu.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
let's start with first things first. Your introduction. Unajua siwezi kuintroduce vizuri vile unaweza jiintroduce. So welcome. Introduce yourself.
So I go by the name Hanan Dichu, a girl born in Kenya somewhere by the name Kiambu County, Githongori constituency, Kegumo subdivision, if I can remember very well. Kiratina, I can't remember very well. Mimi hata nilisahau, lakini si ati ni kujifanya. It's just that wasn't something that was there when I was growing up. And I would say that I lived there for a few years, and then we moved with my mom to still in Kiambu, somewhere called Ruiru. Most of you know Ruiru. It's a town somewhere. And yeah, and from there, after a few years, we also moved to Kirinyaga, where my mom lives up to date. And that's where I call home. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Mhm.
Before we talk about the Navy, your journey to the US, people like to know, huu mtu wetu aliendaje majuu bana? Ulituacha tu all of a sudden, then we started seeing your pictures hazina vumbi. Yeah?
But let me tell you, Kenya is fun.
Yeah.
I love my country and I miss my country so much and I can't wait to go back there. And yeah, Kenya kuna vumbi sana. Niligongwa na vumbi kwa miaka mingi sana. And coming to a country where you don't find such things like a lot of dust, the place is clean, we have jobs and everything. Yeah, I really thank God for that. And up to date, I say that the Lord has taken his path upon my life. And I don't take anything for granted, not even a single thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say it's God. Let me tell you, it's God. It's God. It's God. And people believe that saying it's God is a cliche. No, it's not. It's not. I'm just
Hmm.
saying this from the bottom of my heart that God has done all He could to make me be where I am, and we should always ask His help. God will give you what you want. God
Yeah.
will not give you what you didn't ask for. I
Hmm.
asked for this. I asked for a good life. I actually didn't ask to come to the US. That wasn't even in my agenda of my life. It just happened because I had family here, but I didn't know how difficult it was to come here. It's really difficult to come to the US. But I really, really thank God. It's something I never thought would happen to me. I would
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah. So, your first experience pale kwenye embassy, how was it even before you arrived to the US?
Mm-hmm. So I was supposed to come back in 2019, but something happened with COVID. So I did my KCSE in 2018, and in 2019 I was supposed to be moving here. But then, since it's my brother who was supposed to host us here, he was like, "No, you can wait for your sister." And then boom, COVID hit. Was it in 2020 or 2020, 2019 when COVID hit? I can't really remember very well. But my travel here was really affected by COVID, and I actually thought I would never come here since it was during the time of Trump. He had closed the borders of US to other countries like Mexico and other planes coming to the US.
Mm.
So my case kept pending at the US embassy, telling me that we need to do this. I mean, you have to wait until this year. And I almost lost hope in coming here, but I never lost hope in myself. So, yeah, and so my sister happened to finish her KCSE in 2019, and her case was already submitted. I think our cases were submitted at the same time, but we were
Mm.
not supposed to come at the same time. So my brother was like, since uh, uh, it's happening, like you guys, uh, the US is not allowing people to come here at the moment because of COVID, and COVID is at a high rate in the US. So you guys can start looking for schools. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, well, I started looking for college, and I wasn't actually like had a college in mind that I would go, and I didn't have a course in mind that I would do. When I was growing up, I really wanted to be a lawyer, and also when I was growing up, I also wanted to be a hostess. So I was kind of confused what to do now.
Mm.
My results are out. I don't know what to do. So, but then in the middle of that year, I can't remember which year that was. I don't know if that was in 2019. My brother told me I can try and file for you for a student visa, and he did that. But when I went to do my TOEFL, I failed. That was 20,000 Kenyan shillings. I failed, but I wasn't paying, so fine. But it's a
He paid for
disappointment
you.
for me. Yes, he was paying for everything,
Oh, okay.
and I failed. I felt so bad. I used to I used to like ask myself, because my brother, I have a brother back in Kenya. He has done it 3 times. Yeah, like
Wow.
he has done it 3 times, the TOEFL, because he's over 21. Coming to
Yeah.
the US, my mom is a permanent resident of the US. So my mom comes here every now and then. And so I was like, fine, I failed, and our cases are still pending, so I think I'm not going to the US. My brother was like, no, you're not going to do the test again. Because it's basically a test that tests your knowledge in English, your
Mm.
knowledge in how you can express yourself in English.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's when I knew, yeah, like the exam wasn't as simple, because in Kenya we use the British English, here it's American English, and how we speak is not how they speak. They speak faster than us. So I could have the test in audio, I could have the test timed, and it was hard. I wish they could have given me more time to even go back and listen again. But when they played the audio, it was just once. Sometimes it was once, sometimes they could repeat it twice, but still it was hard for me, because I went to a primary school. You know how public schools are.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's just the basic knowledge that they give you. They don't teach beyond that.
Mm.
So yeah, I felt like my journey to the US is now coming to an end. And my mom used to come here every year. She comes here every year, and we actually came through her.
She
Uh,
prefers to live in Kenya?
Not that she prefers to live in Kenya, but since we were there, we had no one to live with, so my mom had to take care of us. So she was just gonna leave us by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We are still teenagers. We're still in high school. Yeah.
Wow, I see. So was it your first time to like get out of like Kenya or what?
Yeah. I've only been in Kenya, and surprisingly, I've not been into many counties. I've been to Nairobi, I've been to Ruiru, I've been to Kirinyaga, I've been to, yeah, not even Mombasa.
We haujatembea Kenya?
Not even Mombasa, I'm telling you. And I can't wait to go back to Kenya and see the Mombasa that people are talking about.
So
Mhm.
let's go back a little because umesema hujawahi toka country. Now they always say traveling a lot makes your opportunity to US
Yeah,
faster. So
yeah.
what was some of the questions pale kwa embassy kama
Since it
unakumbuka?
was okay, so what happens is if your family lives here and especially your mom, first
Mhm.
of all, my brother lived here. My brother invited my mom to come here because he is the son to my mom.
Yeah.
So that's easier. Not even so many questions. Even I think even when you fill some questions, they kind of understand that you're old and this is your child and you're not lying to them.
Mhm.
Here, it's another case. We are the kids to my mom, so we are all the two of us that were below 21.
Yeah.
Below 21, yes, they allow you to go through your mom or through your
Mhm.
parents.
Yeah.
So the questions
As
were
long as you're
like,
not married. Yeah.
yes, as long as you're not married, as long as you're
Mm.
not having any kids back there,
Yeah.
you're. I think they didn't even ask for the proof of like the financial stability of something because was it a visiting visa? Yeah, it was a visiting visa, but the moment we came here, we got green card the following day. So it was simple. Let me tell you, I'm telling you, it's God. It's God. It's nothing. It's
Wow.
nothing. Nothing sketchy. Nothing. Anything. Like it's
Yeah.
God. So yeah, the questions were like, we went there, and unfortunately, like just like my sister said, we were the first to get through the embassy, but we were the last people to get out of there. Like everybody had gone. We were the first there. I remember we slept in a very expensive hotel the day before just to be close to the embassy
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
can get there so early in the morning. And let me tell you, we got there early in the morning. My sister, I don't know. The case with my sister was something else. First of all, my sister, when my mom, not my mom, when my brother was filing for us, my sister's birth certificate had a problem. Problem
Mm.
started there. So my mom had to rush and take care of this. And yeah, eventually that was rectified.
Yeah.
This is the day of the interview. In the morning, here we are, 5, I think we got there at 5:30 before even 6. And were they opening at 7,
Yeah. They
something
open
like
at
that.
7.
And I remember that day it was raining. And here we are the first people.
Mhm.
I think they called it through the age, I can't remember, through the age of the numbers or something. And then they called my name. And then we are in the same category with my sister, and we're in the same case with my sister. Why not my sister? Here they are saying that my sister is missing something. We were like, come on, what's happening? What is she missing? You didn't tell us. You didn't even say we have everything here. Now, time differences. Kenya, USA. Here we are calling my brother. My brother is asleep. We had to call the wife. Like it was, oh my gosh, that was too dramatic that day. And yeah, eventually I can't remember very well. I have a very good memory, but I can't remember very well what happened that day. And then
Mhm.
she was allowed to come in, and she got me there. Oh my gosh, she stayed for more than 1 hour. I was like, hold on, is
Hey.
my sister coming with me? Oh my gosh, I started crying. I actually started crying, and
Wow.
eventually I saw her coming when I was there for like more than 1 hour. And I remember she came in at 9 when I had gotten there at 7:20. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sure she's the last born, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
you're
god.
worried, of course.
Yeah, I'm worried. She's the last one. She can't do anything. And I'm not just gonna stay out there and assume that, or
Where
maybe
was this place? Is it
something.
the port of entry, or where is this?
Yeah, the entry
Yeah,
where the security, like the first entry,
yeah, here in the
where
US.
the, yeah, no, back in Kenya,
Okay. Pale kwenye, yeah,
the
yeah, now.
embassy. Yeah,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
yeah. So yeah, that was, and then eventually she came. We stayed there for the whole time up to 12. And when everybody was gone, here we are, me and my sister, waiting for our kisses.
Yeah,
And they called us eventually. So we went there and they were like, "You are who? You are this and you are this. Yes, we are. You are sisters. Yes, we are. So tell me about your trouble." And they started asking questions. Where are you going? Oh, we are going here. We are going in Texas, somewhere by the name this. And this is the address. You have to say the exact address. You give them
yes.
the wrong address, it's disqualified.
Hmm.
So, yeah, we gave all the. My brother had sent us this question. So, it's very important that whoever is inviting you to the US gives you the whole details. I
Yeah.
remember my mom telling me that there was this woman, I think she was supposed to be visiting someone here, and then this woman kept giving the wrong information that is not in the papers that was submitted by the person who was inviting them.
Hmm.
And she was like, the woman told me that she's been there since 1999. That was the year I was born. Like she hasn't gotten her visa, and I was like, why? My mom was like, just say the truth.
Yeah.
Tell them the truth. Tell them what's in the papers. I believe the person who was inviting them wasn't telling them what's in the paper,
Hmm.
or maybe someone is the kind of people who don't say the truth even when they see the truth,
Yeah.
which is gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt the embassy. So
Hmm.
it's really important that you keep in contact with someone who is inviting you.
Yeah.
Let them send you the papers that they sent to the embassy. Let
Hmm.
them give you all the information. If you have to lie about something, of course it happens. If you have to lie about something, let it be something that was also lied in the papers. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you will lose your
Yeah.
chances to come here.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And yeah, it was just like five questions, and boom, the
You're
guy
done.
was like, yeah, he was European. He was like, yeah, you got
Congratulations.
this, congratulations, you got this. We were so happy, and we went home.
Yeah.
Immediately, we got out from that door. We were like, oh my gosh, let's call mom. Oh my gosh, let's call my brother. We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Furaha, furaha, furaha kweli.
Furaha tele. And let me tell you, tulipata visa kama leo. Next week. Leo ni lini? Leo ni, when is today? Today is on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Next week, a day like Wednesday,
Hmm.
tulikuwa kwa ndege. Let me tell you, it was actually supposed to be that when we got the visa today, like my brother is gonna buy a flight
Hmm.
for 2 days after that. So quick, before Trumps think about anything else. Yes.
Before vitu kwa ground zibadilike.
Before aanze kufikiria kufunga tena. Alafu it was funny how our cases were approved, and I came to learn that my brother had to tell them that since it's because of COVID, since they work in the health sectors, that they are looking for someone to take care of the babies.
Mm.
I think my brother told, my sister told you that. Yes,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, yeah, he was. I think that's what made our cases go faster because the U.S. nurses, doctors, practitioners, they're really helpful, and they're really in high demand. So there's no way you would have allowed someone to not go to work because your baby needs to be
Yeah,
taken care of.
yeah.
So that made our process so quick. And I really thank God. Let me tell you, I'm telling you, I'm not a preacher. I have no knowledge about preaching, but I'm telling you, God works wonders. God works wonders. There's
Amen.
wonders in believing in God. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. So what does Veronica US, since it was your first time to come out of Kenya, what were some of the culture shocks zenye ulipatana nazo? You are like, oh my gosh, is this the America I've been seeing? Did it like confirm your thoughts? Ama you are like, this is not America, I'm in another place. So some of those
So
culture shock.
first thing that shocked me. Let's go back to the airport. It
Yeah.
was a nice experience getting into that plane. I can't remember what plane that was. Do we have France
Air
Airlines
France.
in Kenya? Yeah, yeah. We came through France Airlines,
Yeah.
and we came through Kenya to France, and then
Mm-hmm.
France to Georgia, and then
Yeah.
from Georgia to Texas, Dallas. So it was nice. That was my first time getting into the plane. It was nice, tiring, uncomfortable, I would say, because it was my first time. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't go through a first class. The spaces that you have in the plane are too, you know, too squeezed, so you don't have so much room for your feet.
Leg room, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like sitting for so long. I like moving, so that was that was uncomfortable for me. And yeah, that was like 8 hours of flight. Was it? No, that was like 9 hours of flight to France. France is beautiful. Paris is beautiful.
Oh, you
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
did you stop in Paris and stayed a little bit?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
and a
you
little
went
bit.
actually out
And
of the
then,
airport?
yes, no,
Oh,
no, we didn't go out of the airport, but I could
yeah, yeah.
see. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I could see from the top that, oh my gosh, Paris is beautiful, so
Yeah,
beautiful. And then from Paris to Georgia, there was another flight of like 8 hours, also beautiful. But something that was keeping me in fear was the fact that I was water phobic before I came to the US. The fact that we stayed for more than 5 hours over water, like over
mm-hmm.
the, was it the Atlantic or
Yeah,
the Pacific? No, that was no, that was not good to me because during that time I was water phobic. I didn't want to see water. I didn't want to feel the waves. You see, when you're in the
yeah,
plane, there are waves. When there are waves, the plane start, bouncing back and forth like that. That was uncomfortable also, but nice experience. I came to the US. I mean, I came to Georgia, and here we had to be checked again before we got to the other plane to Texas. So they had
yeah.
to ask us the same questions they asked us during the embassy. We thought that that was the end, like the embassy, like the questions they asked us during the embassy was the end. It wasn't the end. They
Yeah.
asked the same questions at the airport,
At
and
the
we were
air,
like,
yeah, and you can be
I
deported.
actually, yeah, they can
Yeah,
deport you there. So I was like, do I remember? We started getting confused because we had thought that was the end of it. And then my mom jumped into it and she was like, yeah, we are going to this place. This is my son and these are my daughters. And that's how they allowed us. And
yeah.
then we went to the plane to Dallas. It was like 2 hours. We arrived in Dallas. My brother was there as usual. He's the best. And he was there ready for us. And when we took all our belongings and now we're going to the car, mm, something hit me, which was the smell. It was during summer. Summer in Texas is crazy. It's really hot, like super hot.
Yeah.
I started smelling something, like something stinky. Like, I don't know. You've smelled when it rains and then the water didn't drain. Like,
Uh-huh.
that was the smell. The moldy smell was getting me. I was like, what's happening? I asked my brother, what's happening? Is there any swamp around this place? My brother was like, no, that's summer in Texas. That was one thing that shocked me. I was like, I'm feeling so uncomfortable. I'm not used to this. we got into the car and we went home, and they were so welcoming, and I was so happy to see my nephew. I was so happy, so happy. He
Wow.
was so tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to some of the culture shocks sasa, vile umeingia sasa US sasa. What are those some of the things that shocked you? You know, there are many things that shock people here.
Yes, yes, a lot of them. And people don't understand that. People don't understand that being you in your country is the most comfortable place you can be. You can do
Yeah.
anything there. You can it's so I would say the freedom and everything is different. And when we got here, since we went to my brother's place, there was not much to do, and we started applying for school. And now my brother was like, "No, before you guys even go to school, he will join the Navy first. No, you will join the Air Force. We were supposed to join the Air Force, and then here you are. I actually had my sister say that they didn't allow us into the Air Force because of our weight. I didn't know that. I was so confused the whole process. So I actually thought they didn't allow us to the Air Force because we didn't have the security clearance or something. And also, the Air Force needs you to have a very high marks in SFAB. You know SFAB, the
Yeah,
exam that
yeah.
you take before joining the military in the US. So yeah, because they had given us some few tests and then we didn't get to 80s or something. They want you to have a 78 or higher. So they were like, we're going to transfer you to the Navy. And here we went to this after a few months, after like 2 months of, was it 2 months or 1 month of staying in my brother's house, we started the process. And then we went to this recruiting office
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there was not even much to explain or to even talk about. You were in already. Bring your papers here. The
Yeah.
papers are. You guys, yeah, if the process went on so smoothly, they would even come to pick her up to go sign papers. And it was smooth. I loved that. Like the Navy, when you, before you join the Navy, there is kind of, mm, I don't know what to call it, but the fact that they really treat you so well into joining the Navy can make you join the Navy. You understand what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And after a few months, I joined. I joined in November the 17th. My sister joined November the 15th. We were supposed to go the same day,
Mm-hmm.
but something happened. The plane was full, and they didn't get a ticket for me that day. So something people that should understand is that this process is free of charge. Everything is free of charge. You're
Yeah.
not paying for any gas, you're not paying for any planes, you're not paying for any food, you are not paying for any hotels.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were going to maps, let me go a little bit back. When we were going to maps, we used to live in a five-star hotel, like the Hilton Hotel.
Eish.
So we used
Way.
to, yes, yeah, we lived in Hilton Hotel. We ate there. We slept there in very comfortable rooms and beds. And yeah, it was a nice process. And like I said, my sister joined on the 15th of November. I joined on the 17th of November because of the tickets. My tickets got late and the plane was full.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and took my sister to the airport. She went there. And then on the 17th, that was me. Hmm. Let me tell you.
Wow.
Let me tell
Wow.
you. Here we are at night after sleeping at Hilton Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. They are taking us to the airport of Chicago. Oh my God. Huh. This journey started. The journey started. We got out from the from planes. Here we are. They're telling us to go to a specific place where we can find other people who are joining in the Navy who are going to training. And they're not treating you well like they used to treat you in Hilton Hotel. They're
Mm-hmm.
shouting at you. Oh my God. And it was hard for me, especially because I wasn't used to their tone, I wasn't used to the accent.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at them, what are you saying? I remember when I said my name, they were calling out names and they were like, Nindichu? I was like, no, Ndichu. They're like, did you? I was like, no, it's nature. Like, I have a soft voice, so they were like, are you sneezing? I was like, no. It's like nature. And even up to now, people have a problem pronouncing my name. So I
Yeah.
even told, just call me Ndichu. Like when they say without the N, they say it properly. But when
Mm.
they say with the N, they say Nindichu, Nunduchu,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, they they find it hard to pronounce my name. So yeah, let's go to the culture show. We went there. It wasn't as friendly as I thought because these
Mm.
people they're training you. They're training you to be strong people. They're training you to go to war. They are training you to be strong. Shouting at us, doing all kind of stuff, making you feel so uncomfortable. Because it was during the COVID um, year, they took us to a place called Rome. Rome is where you guys go and wait to see if they see any symptoms of COVID before you go to training.
Mm.
So went there, we stayed there for like 4 days, and then after 4 days, we went to the real boot camp. In boot camp, it was a lot of us, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. During the first few weeks, I was
Yeah.
there for I was there for 8 weeks.
Mm.
First few weeks, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. So many exercises, everything was hard for me, especially that I wasn't used to exercising and everything. It was not fun.
Yeah.
It was also not fun because of culture shock. I remember something that really caught my heart and surprised me in a bad way is the fact that one day I had someone telling the trainers are called the RTCs. Like, I miss my wife. That was a lady. She was like, I miss my wife. And now the trainer was like, but you're in training, you can wait until 8 weeks are over. And she was like, but I really miss my wife. I want to go and see my wife. Like, come on, what are you talking about? You miss your wife? You mean you're in the other side of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that really shocked me. Like, people are so free into talking the things that a Kenyan and African cannot say publicly, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also something else that even up to now shocks me is there is no age respect. Like someone who's older than me, I can talk to them the same way I can talk to someone who's of my age.
Yeah.
Like no age respect. Yeah, I would say those are some of the culture shocks that get me. Also, I was used to eating food, not snacking. Some
Mm.
of the days during training, we could eat some frozen fruits like so cold from the fridge. I don't like cold stuff. I like everything warm, or if it's something to drink, something warm. If
Yeah.
it's like tea, something hot.
Yeah.
And some of
Oh,
these
ugali
days,
moto.
moto, yeah, matumbo moto, yeah, things like that. Yeah, they are giving me an apple that is so
From the
cold that
fridge.
my mm-hmm,
You're trying to bite it to your
from
teeth. Ow!
yes, and sometimes here you are expecting for lunch, but
Yeah.
here they are giving you snacks. Come on, unanipea nini crackers za nini? Ati hiyo ndio lunch yako. Mimi si Mluya, lakini mimi ni Mkikuyu. Mimi nataka ugali. Unanipeaje mkate iko nini? Ati unaniambia ni sandwich, mkate iko frozen, ati iko na ham huko ndani. Come on. Mimi hiyo nili lose weight. Ukichanganya training na hizo kukula, mimi nili lose weight. I lost over 30 pounds. Mhm.
We,
I lost over 30 pounds.
haikuwa
That
rahisi
was
kwanza chakula. Ulimisi chakula sana.
chakula jamani. Chakula sana, alafu kutoka hapo after 8 weeks nimeenda tena 4 weeks 5 weeks, training ingine school, my school, because I'm a logistics specialist.
Yeah.
So my school was how many months? My school was 1 month and I think a week. And then I had to take another. I was chosen to take another class called a pilot class for males, like
Mm-hmm.
USPS, UPS. I have done
Yeah.
all that. And yeah, that was another 2 weeks. Like, come on. Na bado mnanipea hizi mambo. But the galley there where we used to eat food was
Yeah.
super. But still, I wasn't used to the American
The
way
American
or,
food.
yeah, the American food. Also, I wouldn't say that the food, when they gave us food in boot camp, the food was also good. And I love the fact that we could eat all kinds of meat every week.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. I also had challenge with any American food. Whether it's meat, I was like, this meat is tasting something
yeah,
that I can't describe. Whether it's
This,
bread I felt like it's tasting
yes,
too much alcohol. I feel
yes,
like
yes.
it's not the it's not
Sometimes,
the bread I'm used to. Everything I tried, it took
yeah,
time. It took
yeah.
time before.
So,
Maybe now when I go to Kenya, I'll be like, what is this food tasting like?
I know, right? Munanipea nini? Mimi nataka baga.
Eh, and that's why guys come from US to Kenya, unaanza kusema mtu anajifanya, si alikuwa nakula hii
I
chakula.
know.
It's the same way you came to US, uko like hii food siwezi, sasa umeizoea.
Yeah,
Ukirudi
yeah,
Kenya unaona ai tena hii ni gani tena. And
yeah.
also the
So
Kenyan food we get here is totally different.
it's
It's,
really
it's not the
different.
same as the one from home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hata ukienda
Yeah.
huku international markets juu sometimes I go to the international markets to get some stuff that haven't been grown up here or that haven't
Mm.
been harvested from this place. There's still an American taste. Hata kama umeambiwa imetoka Kenya, umeambiwa imetoka Asia, umeambiwa imetoka wapi, it still has some taste that
Yeah.
is slightly different from the other foods. And I wish to go back a little bit to my training. I forgot to mention something. In the Navy, before you join the Navy, make sure that you know how to float in water. I would say water. Make sure you know how to swim a little
It's how
bit.
it's how many minutes you're supposed to float?
You until they are satisfied that you can float in the
I,
ocean.
and at that time you have your boots on, your clothes on, all those heavy stuff on, or it's with
Okay,
swimming costume.
this is what happened.
Yeah.
The second day of our training in boot camp, they took us to the pool, and so many people knew how to swim. Many people from the US know how to swim and know how to float. Here we are, we in our costumes. That day we were in our costumes. Yeah, you will swim in costumes. Here you are, they're asking, who knows how to swim? If you know how to swim, go to that side. If you don't know how to swim, go to the other side. Nothing wrong with that. And here we are. Okay, I don't know how to swim. I go to the other side. We will teach you. Okay, fine. People who know how to swim go to the other side and they start. Kuna mahali wanarushangwa kutoka juu from a cliff.
Yeah.
A higher cliff. You're pushed down to the pool. Here you are up here, but the pool is all down there, and you have to jump from there up to down there, bounce to the bottom, and come back and start swimming. Start doing all the fish styles, floats, everything to the other end. And it's a long pool, not a small pool.
Yeah.
Yes. Mimi maji iliniingia kwa tumbo. I was like, I wanna go home. I already told them I wanna
I
go home.
wanna go
Yeah,
home.
yeah. I wanna go home. I remember that was the time during when that song was so popular here. I was like, I started singing that in my. And the first day to the pool, they took us. The people who didn't know how to swim, it was not even a lot of us. The people who didn't know how to swim were taken to a small pool.
Yeah.
Not a small pool. It's the pool that Kenyans use in Kenya. Those big pools. They are the small pools. They call them baby pools.
Eh,
Those are the pools they took us to, and we started. Oh my god, mimi nimecheza na maji. I played with water that day. Oh my god, I was waterphobic. Remember, I didn't want to do anything with water. It was so uncomfortable.
yeah.
Felt like no, I can't do this. I can't do this, and that's why I wanted to join the Navy. Sorry, the Air Force. Oh my god, I was traumatized. I was everything. Everything looked scary and traumatizing to me. The first day I didn't pass.
Yeah.
I have to, because everybody has gone when we were being taught how to swim and how to float. And there was this old lady who was teaching us how to swim. And she was funny. She was funny in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
She was funny because she would use some words and be like, come on, now. And then I remember in November, December, January is when we have winter.
Yeah.
Chicago, everybody knows Chicago snows. Here I am coming to the pool every day in the morning when it's at negative, like negatives. These are
Mm-hmm.
negatives. It's snowing. Here I am walking more
Yeah.
than 2 miles trying to get lucky, swim,
Where?
and bring out all this fear in me.
Mm-hmm.
It was something else. It was hard for me. Eventually, before my sister graduated, she sent me a note, and she was like, "Sister, you can do this. Just go float. Just go. Let your body float.
Yeah.
Don't don't start fighting with water." And I remember that's when I passed my test. I never got pushed back. Many people got pushed back because they didn't know how to swim, but I never got pushed back. I remember my RTCs used to be very nice to me. They really used to be very nice to me. Like, I don't know why, for some reasons, they were not nice to anybody else, but they used to be so nice to me. And when I passed and I came, they were like, "Did you pass?" I remember it was a senior chief, a very it's someone who's highly ranked, and he was like, "Let's grab 22." It was so happy about me because they didn't want me to get pushed back. And before then, when I was struggling to swim, I went and told my RDC, the LPU, the leading petty officer. I went and told him, "You know what, i want to I want to go to another division. I want to get pushed back to some other weeks." And then he was like, "No, Ndishu, you are not going anywhere. You are graduating with this division." I was like, "No, but look, I failed in my guns. I failed in my swimming. I still can't swim." And he was like, "No, Ndishu, that's fine. You are going to graduate with the division." And when I was telling him that I want to get pushed back, I had a watch. A watch is where you go and welcome everybody who's coming into the compartments, like
Mm-hmm.
to where you guys sleep, like officers, like people who are highly ranked, like other trainers, and you have to salute them and everything. And then he came here and he was like, "Ndichu, I heard that you were the real shooter. You were shooting the walls and you were shooting the roofs because that day we had a gun range."
Mm-hmm.
Hey, mimi kitu ingine ilini traumatize was guns, using the gun. So here I am struggling with hearing what they are saying and understanding what they are saying, and they are telling me to shoot something. Mm, I shot the roof. I didn't know that I shot the roof, but they told me stay aside. I thought that day I actually thought that I'm gonna get pushed back until I know how to use the gun, but they didn't push me.
Yeah.
Mimi nilitoka bootcamp kama sijui kutumia guns, so nobody should lie to you that joining the Navy is all about knowing how to use a gun. You can do range after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So we kushoot hauko sawa?
Uh-uh. Mm-mm.
You don't use it.
Actually, actually, the other day, like I went there. No, last Saturday, I went to a gun range, and I tried shooting with a rifle, a pistol, and some other guns, and I was doing good. But the pistol, sijui kama hata nitatumika. Pistol ni kadogo, lakini rifle,
We,
I felt more
we ni mtu wa vitu
comfortable.
kubwa.
Yeah, mimi ni mtu wa vitu kubwa, lakini mimi mdogo, ukiniona hivi, hehe, I'm small. Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. I see. Hey, boot camp na hiyo process yote nimeona we, lakini you came out as a very strong person now. Umeelewa mambo ya
Yes. I forgot to tell you that. Let me say this, that boot camp made me a stronger woman, a woman that I never thought I was, a woman that I never thought I would be. I came out so strong, super strong, and I'm so thankful. I lost weight. I realized that I can lose weight. I'm still struggling with weight. I'm not big. You can see I'm not big, but I
yeah.
like being fit. And I like working out. I love going to the gym, and I love all kind of stuff, eating healthy, staying healthy, feeling healthy.
Yeah.
I came out so strong, and I came out rich. Sisemi
Hey.
mimi niko na pesa, lakini
Yeah.
mimi ile pesa nilishika hiyo wakati, ile pesa
Yeah.
nilipata kwa akaunti yangu hiyo wakati, sijawahi shika before, sijawahi ona
Yeah.
before. I didn't say, nobody should get me wrong, I didn't say that I was rich.
Yeah.
I
Eh.
said that I'm saying this because the money I got in my account, I've never received such kind
Anywhere
of
else.
money before. Yes.
Yeah. We, we. Sawa, sasa after hii tajua mahali
Yeah.
pa kuenda.
Wapi uko?
All
Actually,
drinks
oh, eh,
drinks leo tunajua pale zinatoka leo. Kama pesa bado haijaisha.
ni mtakuja mkunywa drinks na mjilipie na mnilipie. Yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
outside now the Navy, what do you do now? You're training.
I'm still in the U.S. Navy. I'm still in the military, and I'm I'm active duty. I'm not reserves. I wish I chose the reserves, but I'm not reserve. And I am a logistics specialist based in Oceana. This is in Virginia Beach, Virginia State. And I'm supposed to be stationed here for 2 years, and then I'm gonna choose another location where I want to be stationed. But for now, I am in Virginia Beach, Oceana, a very nice place. I love my job. It's the easiest job in the U.S. Navy.
Yeah. No,
And
I was asking because you did ASVAB and it put you somewhere, like your job, your profession in the Navy. Like, what exactly do you do?
yes, that's the profession in the Navy. I am a logistics
Oh,
specialist.
okay.
I do supply. I supply to the jets. I work with the jets. I don't do maintenance for jets. I don't do anything. I just supply what they want. They want
Oh.
bolts. I make sure I look to my computer and make sure that this guy get everything that they need within
Ah.
a particular time.
Rehe
Yes.
Dufana ya number 14.
Number 14. Lakini, by the way, I'm a logistics specialist, but I don't physically touch the parts.
Oh, yeah.
I mostly sit on my desk and check what the squadrons, they are called the squadrons, the jets, the squadrons are asking for. If they're asking for this kind of parts, I make sure that I tell someone who is supposed to pull the parts and take to the jets that they pull and let me know so that I can update my log. I do
Yeah.
log, I do everything supply. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I see. Would you advise anybody to join the Navy? Because your sister alipigia upato sana, alisema don't join any other force. Come
Yeah.
to the Navy.
My sister loved swimming. My sister loves swimming up to now. So she had no problem with joining the Navy.
Yeah.
and she found it so fun to go swim and everything, show all the tactics that she has in swimming and all. So, yeah, don't hesitate. If you are a permanent resident of the US, come on, let's join the Navy. Let's do this. Let's travel the world because when you join the Navy, you travel the world.
Yeah.
And I forgot to say that I'm still joining the Air Force. I'm waiting on someday and I'm going to start the process of joining the Air Force. But yes, join the Navy. The Navy is a good career. It's a career. They pay you. They take care
Mm.
of most of the stuff. And
Yeah.
joining the military in all the branches of the military, whichever you want to join. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Keep watching and subscribe, like and share. Yeah, tunakuambia mambo mazito mazito, things that you never know, eh? Yeah, so I had muted my guest, so let's go back again.
So yeah, anybody can join the Navy as long as you're a permanent resident of the US, as long as you're not obese, as long as you score some good marks on the
ASVAB
test.
Max, yeah.
Yes, the ASVAB mask. Yes, and you can ask me any other question. If anyone wants to know anything about the Navy, they can ask me. I can give what
Yeah.
I know as
Mm-hmm.
far as in the Navy, the short time I've been in the Navy, I can
Yeah.
answer some of the questions. And I would advise someone, please join the Navy, become a logistics specialist like I am. It's so easy, really
Yeah.
easy.
Ni kukaa tu.
Like people will never believe, yeah, people will never believe that you are in the military because you're
Yeah.
a logistics specialist and other jobs that don't need you to use the guns. The guns are only used by MAs and some other jobs. We have over 100 jobs in the Navy. Yes, over 100 jobs you can choose in the Navy, 100 of
Wow.
them. You can
Wow.
be a cook in the Navy. Yes, you can be a cook in the Navy. You
Mm.
can be
W-
anything you want in the Navy here.
You can become a gate mantenna, as your sister said.
Yes, yes. A Getman, MS, security, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they pay
Eh.
you well. They do pay you well. People who take care of your flights when you're going
Yeah.
to a duty from a duty station to another duty station.
Mm-hmm.
Good. People who take care of the hotels when they send you somewhere else. Well, and you don't have to go to the ship. We
Yeah.
have, like for example, my sister is in sea duty. I
Mm-hmm.
am in shore duty. Like I'm not attached to any ship, but my
Yeah.
sister is attached to a ship.
Mm-hmm.
But after the 2 years that I'm in Oceania, the next 2 years before my contract ends, I am joining people in the ship. I'm gonna
Yeah.
choose the ship that I wanna be in, and that's when you go to deployments. And when people go to deployments, they travel the world. They do travel the world. You can go anywhere, and it's really fun. I had it's really fun, and all the good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, today's show is just recorded, it's not live because
yeah.
my computer is really acting up. Hata before nikuite ilikuwa
Okay.
imezima sijui mara ngapi, so I need to take
Oh,
it in to be checked.
okay.
So that's why I
Yes.
thought inaweza zima tukiwa live nitashindwa cha kufanya, but
Okay.
yeah, thank you. We'll upload this video, so anybody with questions, I think I'll bring some of the Navy guys that I've interviewed niwalete
Yeah.
pamoja, and then now we do
Yes.
question and answers. So
Yeah. That'll be really
that will
good.
be fun. That will be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah. So definitely. So unaendanga home, like not Kenya.
Um.
Like after your work, do you go home or you stay still in the camp? I mean, is it camp? Yeah.
Yes, I go home, and
Mm.
also, we have. I'm not married because when you're married, they pay they pay the rent for you. They call it BH. They give you money to pay for rent.
Yeah.
But I'm not married and I don't have kids, so I still have my room in the base.
Mm.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I still have a room in the base, and I'm sure most people have seen me in my room is doing some TikToks and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to follow you on TikTok as well.
Yes, I created another account. The other account I had, I deleted it for some reasons. I was like, this is really taking too much of my time. I need to. something else. And I had school. I'm also in school,
Yeah.
and it was really taking
What are you
a lot of
studying?
my time. Right now, I'm doing associates in business administration, and then I'm gonna transfer that to do some degree in supply and chain management.
Oh, wow. Wow, beautiful.
Yes.
Na
Yep.
mpenzi mtazamaji, you've heard she's single. Let that settle.
No, I'm not single. I said I'm not married. I'm
Oh,
seeing
you're,
someone.
Sasa tumemaliza
Yeah.
hiyo discussion.
Yes, I'm seeing someone. Yeah, I'm
Tungekuuza
not
hapa saa
single,
hii. Yeah.
but I'm single in papers.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
Definitely, definitely. It's a good point to take home.
Yeah, yeah, so that people don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Hey, that's amazing. Anything else you want to say before you close the show?
Uh, I want to say that just people believe in God. Everything is doable. Everything, any desire that you have in your heart, make sure you talk to God. Make sure you believe in yourself. You can do
Mhm.
wonders, and yeah, yeah, you can do more than you can think of.
Yeah.
You are stronger than you think. I was
Mhm.
stronger. I am stronger than I thought, and I
Yeah.
believe I can be stronger than this, and I can do more wonders.
Wow.
And yeah, soon I'll be launching some of my shops. I'm trying to do some Amazon shop. I'll be having an
Oh,
Amazon
wow.
shop. Right
Wow.
now I have an Etsy. It's called Etsy and
Yeah.
Printify
Mhm.
shop.
Yeah.
Yes. Soon you'll be seeing some of my products there. And yeah.
You have a YouTube as well?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay. You can talk about it a little bit before we close.
So my YouTube channel right now is Ndichu's Small World.
Mhm.
Ndichu's Small World, just like my name, Ndichu's
Yeah.
Small World.
Mhm.
Mostly I do every day to day cooking because I love cooking. That's my hobby. I love traveling. Yes, I haven't really like decided what kind of content I want to put in my YouTube since I don't have too much time.
Yeah.
And yeah, for now, I have more than 377 followers,
Mhm.
which is doing good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be putting
Wow.
some content soon. Yeah.
So, guys, make sure you go follow Ndishu's Small World, and
Yeah.
I'll put the link on the description when I upload this video so that you can follow
Yep.
her. Yeah, lazima tusapotiane bana. Yeah,
And
lazima
I also have
tusapotiane.
TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah,
Instagram.
say your handles. Yeah.
Instagram is HA_WA_ Ndichu.
Mhm.
My TikTok is Anita Ndichu. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Sawa sawa. We'll go
Yes.
follow you cause hata mimi sikuwa nimekufollow. I knew you through your
Yeah.
sister and we've met today and we did an interview. Amazing.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So definitely
This
we are
world
so
is super small. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you have to just keep doing good. You never know.
Yes.
You never know who
Yeah.
was touched by this story. That's how
Yeah.
we put it out here. Yeah.
Yes.
To tell
Yeah.
our own story so that nobody will tell our own story. We tell our story
Nobody
the
can tell.
best. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know
Mhm.
yourself better than
Yeah, your
anybody
story is
else.
different from your sister was just here last week, but your story is still different from her because we are not the same. Even if you're
Hmm.
twins,
Yep.
your story is
Hmm.
different than the other
Yep.
person. So yeah.
Yeah. We all have
So
different stories. Yeah.
so definitely if you're watching us, don't give up. If you want to come to the US, it's still possible. Yeah, your dream is still valid. Never give up.
But I would say this: people believe that coming to the U.S. is simple.
Yeah.
Coming to the U.S. is only simple when you have family here, blood related. You see, my brother is still back in Kenya. Reason being is because he was over 21. He
Yeah.
has me, my sister, and my brother here, but it's still hard for him to come here. Coming to the
Mhm.
US is not simple. I see people asking me how I can invite them to the US. It's not
Yeah.
simple. It's not really simple. If I have to invite someone, I will invite my brother first because he's my blood.
Yeah.
But it's still hard for us to bring him here. because coming to the US is not easy. It's not. So I would also ask people when green is it called lottery
Yeah, yeah. Green
every
card.
October?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
please try that. Please try that. That's also an easy way to come to the US.
Mm.
But inviting someone just because it's not easy. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
definitely, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. Thank you so much for coming here. We'll gather questions and answer. Then I will one day invite a couple of Navy people, and then we
Yes.
we we just have a good time here. Yeah,
Yeah.
and answer questions
Hmm.
from people because this show today is not live. It's recorded,
Yeah.
and I will have it uploaded. Yeah.
Okay.
Sawa
Thank you
sawa.
so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
coming.
God bless you. Have a good one. Thank you for accepting our call and
Yes.
showing up. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me and have a great day.
Asante sana. God bless you.
Bye. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. This is Mkenya Marekani. If you want any person to be interviewed here on our platform, just comment on this video or on the stories that I post. And also you can tag them. Some of these content creator, I don't know them personally, but just give us ideas who you want us to have here on Mkenya Marekani. Yeah, and let's gather those stories, tell our own stories. They really motivate people. And definitely, before I finish, I want to tell you thank you for your support. You can also support us. If you're new here, subscribe, like, and share. And also, you can become part of our membership program. You just click the button where it says join. You will see you can be able to join Mkenya Marekani by paying a small fee. There is $1 per month, there is $3 per month, there is $10, $20. All this is just to support the work we are doing so that we can just be bringing more and more and more and more stories. Okay. Otherwise, from my desk, I want to appreciate you. God bless you. Tutaonana, majaliwa, do good and become good to the people. Ama VP. Subscribe, like, and share. God bless you. Tuonane baadaye. Cheers.